of it, that the lads who all came through at Manchester United put a stop to it then, because there was bad sides to it. There was Paul Scholes being put in a washing machine and it turned on for a few minutes.
Okay, I wouldn't know about that, but it was good fun. I mean, I think when I first got in the first team, it was a lot of socialising. I think the football really got in the way of the football. You know, we say we've got a party Thursday, we've got a big game Saturday though, what do you want to do? I said, well, I think I'd rather go to the party, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
But obviously we didn't, and we played the football, so it was a little bit, but most clubs were doing it, not just Arsenal, it was a lot of clubs were going out, the team spirit was different. I think you had a lot of British players compared to now. The foreign players are much more professional. You know, and it changed, and it's got to change because it's got better now, and it's got more competitive, and it's, you know, it's a great league at the moment. I mean, it's a fantastic league. Tell us about Anfield. You're 18, 19 years of age, because that was maybe where the drinking culture maybe overstepped the mark. Well, yes, what's this one? The story of me when I went in the bar before the game. Yeah. This is bad. No, I was in a squad of say, at the time, about 20 players, and 4 or 5 of us were left out, and I was about 18, 19 years old. And I get to Anfield, which was a great stadium. I made my debut there the year before, give away a penalty or something like that, I think I did. And I've gone into the dressing room, I'm not involved. So I've got my tie on, my Arsenal tie, my blazer. And I said to Andy Linegan, what do you usually do now? You know, what do we do an hour and a half before kick-off? He said, let's go and have a few pints upstairs in the Carlsberg Lounge. I said, yeah, fantastic, no problem. Off I go, up the staircase, into the lounge. I'm having a great time, all the Scousers having a good laugh and whatever. I'm on my 5th pint of lager or whatever it was. Next minute, Stuart Houston, our assistant manager, burst through the door, 10 minutes before kick-off. What are you doing? I said, I'm having a few drinks, I'm going to go and watch the game now. The manager's going mad, he's trying to look for you, get yourself downstairs now. I said, what? He said, you're sub. Someone's got injured in the warm-up. I'm like, I'm on my 5th pint. I said, what? Then all of a sudden, I had Andy Linegan say, well, let him finish his pint for plus. Excuse my language. So I've gone downstairs and I've got changed. And do you know when you're like a little bit tipsy? I'm still young and whatever. All the lads going, you stink of alcohol. I said, well, I didn't know I was sub, did I? And this is what George Graham was like. The bench must have stunk of booze. 20 minutes to go. Warm up, you're going on. I'm going, no, I'm not 20 minutes. I don't fancy 20 minutes, really. So as I'm warming up, all the Liverpool subs are warming up, they're all going, was you out last night? You stink. I said, no, I've had 5 pints in the bar upstairs. And I get on, and I have a really good game. I couldn't work it out. I mean, I passed to the right shirt. Them days, I used to pass the other team, to be honest with you. So I had a really good game, set the goal up. But after the game, I walked in. I thought I got away with that. George Graham, well done, son, when you come on. Done really well. I was thinking, how did I get away with that? That's unbelievable. He went round a few other players. You was in the bar before the game. No, 2 weeks' wages. Bring the cash Monday morning to my office. I was like, oh, please. And that was it. I got fined 2 weeks' wages for that. So, but you want as much money as you're on now, you'll be absolutely gutted now. I got charged 2 weeks' wages. Ray, trust me, that story could have ended a whole lot worse for you. I could have done, yeah. England. I wanted to talk to you about England because actually it's really terrible what happened to you with England. So, 97-98, Wenger's arrived, and you're Player of the Year that England win the double. And Glenn Hoddle leaves you out of the squad, your complete squad, like even the squad that Gaza was in before he flipped out because he wasn't been. This was a squad, This was exactly. Everybody was in this squad, and he leaves you out because of what you said about Eileen Drury. Yes, that's true. Yeah, I mean, it's probably one of my best seasons I had. 97-98. I played probably 36 out of 38 league games, and we had a really good understanding all the team. And I got player of the season, played in the cup final, got man of the match. So. I was really, this could be my big chance at a World Cup. You know, I'm probably not going to play, but to travel to a World Cup and be involved with the team. And, it was a true story. I remember pulling my calf in training one day. Robbie and probably Andy was in the squad at the time. And I went to see, I think Robbie ended up started laughing in the medical room, in fact. I went in there and Glenn Hoddle all of a sudden come in and said, what you done, son? I said, I think I pulled my calf, boss. So he said, OK, before you go for your scan, I want you to go and see Eileen Drury, our faith healer. I was like, who's Eileen Drury? So anyway, off I go upstairs, room 36, knocked on the door, she opened the door, sat down in this chair, and she pulled the curtains, went in the bathroom. I'm thinking, God, I tell you, she's putting something sexy on now. I go, you know, she's quite an attractive lady for 50, to be honest with you. Next minute, she's circling me, going round in, you know, and all of a sudden she puts her hands on the back of my head. And all I said innocently was, short back and sides, Eileen, what are you doing? And I did need an haircut at the time, I must admit. It was a bit dodgy, me barnet, but, you know, so it was... I didn't think nothing of it. So I laughed, she laughed. She's ended up telling all of the people at the bar. They've told all the players. Next minute, front page of the Sun newspaper. Short back and sides, because the press were really after the St. Vivian jury. So I was absolutely couldn't believe it. So next minute comes up. Next squad comes out, playing really well. Get back to full fitness, not in the squad. Asked him, why are you not in the squad? I said, boss, I think the same I said. He said, no chance, that won't happen. This is the one Gaz had just smashed the room up in La Manga. Wasn't in the 30 to be cut down to 25. So now Wenger said, I'll phone him up to see why you're not in the squad. And that was the true story. He said, I disrespected his faith, and I'm not going to pick Kelly this year. So, that year, I was absolutely distraught. You know, every single paper you picked up, France 98 and the World Cup, this, that, whatever. And I got married instead that year, so that cost me another load of money. So, it's a nightmare. I had a nightmare year.
I didn't know if I was allowed to bring that up, actually.
It don't bother me. She was very happy with me.
That is terrible, though. I can imagine the conversation between Wenger and Hoddle gives the reason. And Arsene Wenger says, what?
Yeah, he played under him, didn't he? Glenn Hoddle at Monaco.
Yeah.
But Glenn was a really good coach. I'm not knocking his for coach, and I'm amazed that he's not back into football. He was a young manager then, wasn't he? He was only 38, 39 at England manager. Maybe it's a little bit too early for him, but for me, he was a great coach, and I think I'm sure he'll be back in the game very soon.
Really? Because I thought he had the reputation, and it turns out Robbie and Andy aren't big pals of him either, really.
Oh, right, OK, we can ask them.
But I had thought that he had a reputation for talking down to players, for turning to David Beckham.
Yeah, but he was a young player then, and I think he just finished his career, and he was a great player, Glenn Hoddle. If you watch him in his prime, he was fantastic, and maybe sometimes you look at it and say, you know, I should have got more caps. I was probably a better player than you guys, and you know, maybe that was the case. But I think he's learned from that, and if he got to manage his job now, I think he'd do a really good job, Glenn Hoddle.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
The Invincibles is the kind of peak, and where the playing career peaks, and you're building towards that. That must be just an incredible season, an incredible experience to go through an entire season unbeaten.
Yeah, well, no one expected it to happen, really. I mean, you just go game by game. I know it's an old cliche, but you keep playing, and I don't think it really kicks into about 8-9 games to go. Yeah. And then you're thinking, well, we still haven't been beaten yet, and the press start getting involved and saying, oh, can they do it? And the hardest bit, really, of that season was we won the league at White Hart Lane, and then we got 4 more games. Yeah. We got 4 more games to go. And you know what it's like when you win the league. I remember going to Anfield after we won in 97, 98. We lost 4-0 the next game because you take your foot off the pedal and you think, oh, well, we've done our job. We've won the league. What else can we do? But that was the hardest bit, just to get the next 4 games. I think we played Birmingham, Fulham, Leicester, teams like that who should beat, but they were really tough games, and that was the hardest bit, to motivate ourselves to get the next 4 games. That
was the year as well that 6 games in you almost lost at Old Trafford. There was the Ruud van Nistelrooy penalty, and then Martin Keown. Martin Keown gets a bad rap, but I watched that this morning. You're right in there throwing digs as well.
I got done I regret that. I mean, it's one of them situations. It's frustration, and, you know, he did cheat a little bit. He fell over Patrick and got him sent off, really. So I think Martin Keown was very relieved because he gave away the penalty. And this is what happens in football sometimes. You talk about a little bit of fate in football. I remember going back to 99. We missed a penalty, last kick of the game, semi-final, replay. Yeah. And Manchester United go and win the treble. So, you know, it just shows you that if Dennis Bergkamp kicks it the other side of the pit, of the goal, we go through to the final of the Cup. So, and it was very similar that day because, you know, Van Nistelrooy, you'll put your house on him scoring from the penalty spot, last minute of the game, and he hits the crossbar, and we end up going unbeaten. So sometimes, you know, it's just meant to be, and I think we was relieved. I think I got fined £10,000 for that. So, again, the ex-wife wasn't happy. She lost 40%. She was phoning me up fuming.
A final point. These days, we hear you on TalkSport and doing a bit of punditry and some after-dinner speaking. Are you involved with the club at all? Do you pop in?
Yes, I still go over to the club quite a bit. I go to a lot of games. I sometimes go to the training ground, and, you know, I should do my badges. I've never done them, but Arsene Wenger's always said, come over and train with the youth team and learn your badges. No, I enjoy my life now. I really... You know, suddenly you're your own man, because football, you're dictated. You say, right, be here, then do that, do this, do that. So now you can really do your own diary. I've got a pub in Essex myself. I've got an events company, so everything's going really well. But, you know, it's great to be in Ireland. I love Ireland. It's a great place to come. My first ever trip was juries. I think Dave O'Leary's testimonial back in whatever it was, 92, something like that, when he had that Republic of Ireland testimonial. So, you know, it's always great to come back, and obviously the Guinness is fantastic as well.
We do have a question from the crowd. Gizzy, I don't know where you are. You're somewhere out there.
Yeah, down here, Joe. Great to hear about, you know, La Manga and Eileen Drury and stuff, but really Irish people just want to talk about Irish people. So we have a question on those bases here.
Yeah. Hi, Ray, how you doing?
How you doing?
Serious question for you. Just in relation to the relationship Ireland has with Arsenal recently, with Brady leaving the club. What relationship did he have with Wenger, and did he have any influence over anything in the club at a senior level, from player power, or, you know, really what was the relationship like with Wenger?
No, I think Liam was a real legend at the club. You know, had a great career there. You know, I think he when he got into the U team, he really helped a lot of youngsters. I mean, everybody looked up to Liam. Myself as well, I was probably in the first team then, and we always had a good chat, me and Liam, about football in general, and he had a great knowledge of football. So I think it's just something that he wanted to move on, Liam. He took his time at Arsenal. But, you know, I think Arsene Wenger really respected Liam Brady. He obviously has seen him many a times when he was younger playing, and he had a great career. So, you know, I think they both went their separate ways. And I'm sure Liam will have a successful, wherever he goes, he'll be an absolute legend wherever he goes, which he is.
You've been a brilliant guest. It's been great listening to you. Can we give a round of applause, please, for Ray Parlour?
Thank you.
You can stay there.
Yeah.